Hey, seventh graders, we're starting to wind down. So today you are also assigned to do part 5. Okay, next week you will finish up with part 6. So your learning target for this little section of the case study is I can predict how the jaw malformation has affected the size of the elk herd in the Madison River Valley. So one of the last questions you answered was, all right, well, we can kind of maybe figure out how this jaw malformation has affected the lifespan of the elk in the Madison River Valley, but how does that contribute to population size? So we're really going to be able to, at this point, tie those two concepts together, is how the lifespan's different and now how is the age different based on that. So you guys learned a lot about a lot of different things in the last couple parts. So you're really going to start seeing in part 5 us tying all of these concepts together. Okay, so again, as usual, you're going to read, highlight, and answer the questions. You guys' reading slightly longer this week. So make sure you guys highlight Lamar Valley yellow, Madison River Valley purple, and blue is going to be general information. And then again, make sure you guys only highlight little tidbits, little facts that you think are important. So researchers discovered that as the heavy snows of the Madison River Valley accumulated over the season, elk tended to congregate in the river valley, especially around the areas of hot spring activity, to forage on the plants that grow year-round in the geothermal areas. Plants gathered from these areas contained intensely high concentrations of fluorine and silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide is created when silicone-rich volcanic rock dissolves and comes in contact with geothermal water. As the geothermal water comes to the surface and cools, the dissolved silicon dioxide falls out of the solution, forming deposits. Silicon dioxide is found in streams and can be deposited on trees, boardwalks, and so on. It is also found in the water absorbed by the roots of plants that live in the hot springs areas. It is hard like rock and very abrasive. When ingested by elk, fluorine concentrates in mineral tissue such as teeth and bones. The jaws of elk living in the Madison River Valley contain more than 6 times the levels of fluorine found in the jaws of elk from the Lamar Valley. These levels of fluorine became toxic to the developing teeth and jaws of young elk, resulting in uneven or excessively rapid teeth wear and jaw formation. Of the 74 jaws researchers collected in the Madison River Valley, 78% showed the classic signs of fluorine poisoning or fluoride poisoning. So what new evidence is presented and how does it factor into the difference in average age of the two elk habitats? So we learned something about why the elk have these malformed jaws. So how does that again play into the fact that they're dying a lot younger in the Madison River Valley? Okay. Does this new information adequately explain the decrease in herd population? Does that explain why the herd is so small? I mean, by this point, we know elk are having a calf once they become mature after a year or two being born. They're starting to have calves of their own when they're really young. So why is the Madison River Valley herd so small? Okay, so I really want you guys to think of that. Does that explain, if they're maybe dying early, why are they still low in numbers? They're not dying early enough where they're not reproducing. Okay, are there any new hypotheses to explain the decrease in herd size? So what would you guys predict might be the change in herd size now? Okay, so come up with an idea of why this Madison River Valley elk population is so much smaller. Okay, you've probably kind of already figured out why they are dying younger, but why is their population smaller? Okay. Last but not least, next week you'll be assigned part 6. You guys are more than welcome to move on. But remember, before you guys move on, that you need to have all these parts, the introduction, parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 complete first. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.